Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another time lapse painting. Today's time lapse is of a piece um, called Dough Fairy number 2, and that's just because I've already done one dough fairy, and I call them dough fairies because they're hybrids of women and deer. This particular dough fairy is just, I don't know. I just got the inspiration for her because I wanted to draw like an actual portrait of one looking like kind of embodying that vibe that I get from deer. So it was supposed to be like this really kind of bright, peaceful looking, well, she was supposed to have like a peaceful expression on her face, and it was just supposed to be really like kind of calm, if that makes sense. I don't know. That was the plan in the beginning when I first thought of this, and like somewhere along the way it got a little dark at first, and I kind of felt like I wanted to go like take it to like a Halloween theme type of piece, but it ended up still coming out exactly how I planned from the beginning, so that's cool. So yeah, today's video I'm going to be talking about how I balance freelance art and a 9 to 5. Technically my job isn't a 9 to 5 because I work nights now, but still I'm away from home for 50 hours a week, and so it's hard to work on art. Like there are full-time artists who they just get to draw all day and put out work every day, and it's really frustrating, I know, to see that, knowing that you can't do the same thing. Like when you have a job away from home, you pretty much go to that job every day that you probably don't like that much, and the whole time you're daydreaming about something you want to work on, coming up with different ideas and saying, man, I can't wait till I get home to draw this out or sketch up this idea or whatever. And you get home and you're like completely burned out. Like you get home, you just want to eat, shower, and just knock out, and then no art gets done. And I struggled with that for a while. I've had this job for 2 years now, and I've only just now this year kind of found that balance. And so I started out as a full-time artist. When I first started drawing, I didn't have a job for like the first 3 years. I didn't have a job, so I was a full-time artist. I always had the time and the energy to draw, and I was putting out a new piece every day, coming up with ideas every day, posting art videos on YouTube twice a week. Like, when is the last time that happened? So it was like so easy to be an artist, and you know, the more work you put out, the more consistent you are with posting your art, the more exposure you get, the more followers you get, the more recognition you get, and the more work you sell. And so I was actually making some money off my art. That was actually the time in which I was able to sell one of my pieces for a whole lot of money, and I just felt like my art career was like really taking off, and I felt like I was about to become like super successful. But then of course I was making money, but I wasn't yet making enough money to live off of my art, and so I had to get a job. Like I was about to get kicked out the house, okay? I had to get a job. And at first I had a part-time job, which is one of the methods I was going to talk about, and how to balance having a job and doing freelance art is to just work part-time. If you work, let's say 25 hours a week, so that's 5 hours a day, then you have half of your day that you're awake. No, actually more than that. I don't know math right now. You have plenty of time while you're awake during the week to work on your art. And I actually did work part-time when I first got a job. So yeah, I would go to work in the morning, get home at like 3, and I would just art until it was time to go to bed. Another method would be saving your weekend as art time. I know that one kind of isn't as appealing because then you don't really have a social life. But I did do that for a while. I couldn't do that when I had a boyfriend because my weekends were reserved to hang out with my boyfriend. But once I was single again, I was like, I'm gonna use my weekend to work on my art nonstop every day. So Saturday and Sunday, I would just draw. And I would typically like work on a piece all day Saturday, and then like put up time lapse on Sunday, and then come up with an idea for another piece that I'll be working on next weekend. That one is like, I would say that one is probably the toughest one because like I said, you won't have a social life, and then also you kind of have to like really, it'll really kind of burn you out because you have to push yourself to finish something all in one day because you know you're not going to be able to work on it again until the next week. The method I'm currently using is waking up hours before work to art. Now, I couldn't do this before when I was working second shift because I'm someone who just cannot wake up early. I don't know about y'all, but waking up like before 11 in the morning was like really, really just impossible for me. But now that I work nights, I can wake up in the afternoon and still have about 5 hours to work on art before I have to start getting ready for work. And I found that has really worked the best for me, because I actually have energy. I can actually get myself out of bed because I'm not feeling that like lethargic feeling that I have when I try to wake up early in the morning. I mean, if you can wake up early, then obviously that's fine for you. But yeah, I think it's a lot easier to wake up before work to do it than to work on art after work, because typically when you get home from work, I mean, you might have planned to draw, but once you see your bed and you just worked 8 hours, you just want to lay down. And then once you lay down, you don't get back up again. So I feel like there's going to be a lot of days where you plan to draw, but you just don't. And I've done that. I've gone weeks. I think at the most one time I went about 2 months without drawing because I kept telling myself to come home from work and do it, and then I would be too tired. And that was really tough because once I did start making myself draw again, I felt like I had to relearn a lot of stuff because it had been so long. I know it was only 2 months and I've been drawing for years, but it really felt like I had lost it, y'all. And I don't want any other artist to ever experience that feeling because it sucked. Anyway, I think it's very helpful to put yourself on a schedule. So when you have art days, you can say, okay, on this day I work on art tutorials or whatever. On this day I work on sketching up potential pieces. This day I work on commissions. Like that. That will make it so much easier on you because I know that technically you have inspiration for a certain thing at a certain time and you can't really know what that's gonna be until it happens. But I think this will at least help out a little bit because you won't be sitting there trying to figure out where to start. And if you can't put yourself on a schedule, at least follow a to-do list, which is what I do. I have a whole list of things that I need to get done, and instead of like telling myself what day and what time I need to get it done. It's just there, and I go through the list, and when I feel like doing something, I'm like, okay, I feel like doing a voiceover for my YouTube video today. I'm gonna do that. That way, you know, you just do whatever you feel like doing and you still get stuff done. You really have to kind of learn yourself, because you need to art at times that you know you are more productive. If you know that you have more energy in the morning, that's when you need to sit down and draw. If you know that you are a night owl and you stay up all night and you get more work done at nighttime, that's when you need to plan to work on art. Last but not least, this one is a little different from the other tips, but I think it might even be the most important. But eating a healthy diet is like so important, y'all. There are months when I would eat so much fast food, and those are the months when I don't feel like going out to the garage and getting shipping supplies so I can package orders. I don't feel like getting up and setting up my camera and my lighting so that I can do a time-lapse video. And then I just lay in bed, and next thing I know, it's been 7 hours and I just been in bed all day. But when I'm eating clean, and it doesn't even have to be for like the whole month. I can eat clean for a few hours and have so much more energy and motivation. I'll get up and start doing everything, even stuff that don't got nothing to do with art. I'll clean my whole room, I'll wash the dishes, do my laundry, take out the garbage, and get all my art stuff done. So I think that is a really important part that maybe a lot of people don't talk about, is having a healthy diet. It really does make a difference, y'all. So that's all I have for today. Hopefully these were helpful in maybe getting you guys to figure out how you can balance your art and your 9 to 5. And definitely feel free to comment and let me know how you guys are doing that. If you have any other ideas that I haven't mentioned, something else that's working for you that could possibly work for other people, please feel free to comment. And also like and subscribe if you're not subscribed yet. Share the video, and I really appreciate y'all for watching this, and I'll see y'all in the next time lapse. Bye. Online somewhere, and another person took that photo, so it's really you copying their art. But when I draw myself, it's 100% original, because all the ideas are mine. I am my own photographer, I'm my own hairdresser, my own makeup artist,